All music is the same. It's just a new set of lyrics and a new backbeat.
AndreGraziadei for the Backbeat Experience. Today in a chat with Nathan James, a vocalist, singer, frontman for the band Inglorious. Thank you for taking time out to have a chat.
No problem. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for coming along today.
All right. What was the defining moment which made you decide to be a musical artist?
The first ever time I sung in public, I think I was 11 years old. I may have been 10 years old. And it was a school's concert in my local area. And they picked like 12 children from the whole of the county. So out of all the children in the county, there was like 1,000 children singing in the show. And I got picked, and I had to sing in front of 1,500 people with an orchestra. And I was 10 or 11. And I walked off stage and I knew that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
You didn't have any kind of stage fright?
No, I was the most obnoxious child.
Really?
Yeah. I knew it was what I'd loved doing, and I knew it's what I was supposed to be doing. So
it's the attention, right?
I don't know. I love the feeling when I sing.
Okay.
That's predominantly what it came from. Right. I suppose I found my love of singing before I found my love of rock music. So, yeah.
The Glenn Hughes influence is truly unmistakable.
Thank you.
It's definitely there. I was listening to the new Black Country Community, and I was thinking, okay, I'm listening to your album on the way over here, and I thought, well, there's certainly some parallels there somewhere.
Maybe it's Kevin Shirley. Maybe that's all it is.
That's quite likely, yeah.
I just said to him, make me sound more like Glenn.
Well, I think he succeeded.
Good.
Was songwriting something you struggle with, or when did it actually kick in for you?
I never really struggled with it because I didn't do it. I never ever songwrote.
You had no urge to?
Had no desire to. People used to hire me to sing their songs.
Okay.
So I sung for Uli John Roth from the Scorpions, sung on his last 2 albums, and I was singing old Scorpion songs. And then before that I was in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in America.
Right.
And I was singing songs that someone else wrote. So I never had to write. And then when I got in this band, an R&R guy, a guy called Derek Shulman, said, if you want to be in a band, you have to write all these songs yourself. And I was like, damn, okay, I better start writing. So I did, and it came out okay. The first song I ever wrote was Unaware, which is the last track on the first album.
I want to get to that.
That's the first ever song I ever wrote. So I literally sat there with Colin, the bass player, and our producer on the first album, and yeah, it just came out of me, and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad, you know. I was really scared of being so personal. I quite like singing other people's songs.
Okay.
So yeah,
you prefer being an interpreter?
I did until now, and now I don't want to sing anyone's fucking songs. Sorry.
So it's 180. How do you feel about writing your own material now?
I feel much more comfortable writing my own songs because it's not just me, you know. Like this entire band. Right, everyone in the band writes, and they're all really good writers, and our bass player writes guitar riffs, and our drummer plays guitar, and everyone's a proper well-rounded musician. So yeah, it's great. I feel like without those guys, the songs, there would be no songs. So
So it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah, very much a team effort.
As far as the music's concerned, what comes first, the lyrics or the melodies?
It's usually riffs. We find a riff that we all like, and then we turn it into like a song. Then I find a chorus, and then the lyrics kind of come last for me.
Okay.
I like having melodies that I can sing and that sit good in my voice. I don't want to be confined to... Yeah. I've always been a sound guy more than a word guy. I've got a really big voice, so I want to try and get that across and not be confined to having...
That's something I've noticed. I was listening to some of the songs and I was thinking, well, maybe Nathan, sometimes tone it down a little.
No! No one does it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Because my thing is, if people could do it, I think they'd do it. But they can't do it. So it's very easy for a couple of other artists to sing in 1 octave or 2 octaves that my hero doesn't, Glenn Hughes doesn't, you know. He doesn't turn it down.
You're right, but then again,
no one's going to tell him off.
It's what sets you apart from everyone else.
Yeah, it sets me apart now. Glenn Hughes is 40 years older than me.
Right.
No one in their 20s is doing it.
No. You've had the luxury of collaborating and working with some of the most talented artists in the business today. And what situation intimidated you the most? There might be several, but...
There's one that's really recent.
Really?
And I'm not allowed to say their name.
That's fine.
But I can say the situation.
Okay.
I was asked to sing on an album that was being recorded at Abbey Road. And it's my second time at Abbey Road. I did another project there last year with Eric Clapton's co-writer, Pete Brown, who wrote all of the Cream hits, Sunshine of Your Love, etc., and White Room. And then this time I'd been asked by a very, very famous musician.
Solo artist?
No.
No? Okay.
He was in a band.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. But he is one of the scariest guys in the world. And I was terrified.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to sing 3 songs, and we rehearsed for a whole day before and half a day the next day. Then he came in, and he didn't say hello to anyone. And he's quite an old guy, so. But I have just heard so many stories that I was I was so scared. I was petrified.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been so scared in my life. And I'm a big guy. I'm not very. Yeah, it's very hard for me to take notes from someone. But he gave me a note, and I looked like a little girl. I was stood there just shaking.
How
scared.
How do you mean a note? Did he give you a tip?
He was like, can I swear?
Sure you can.
He was like, you fucked up the ending. And I was like, sorry.
I'm god awful
sorry.
sorry.
I'm really sorry, sir. And he was like, it's like this. And then he did it. And I was like, okay, thank you, sorry, it won't happen again. I was really polite, and I've never been so scared. And I was in a room full of amazing people. Bernie Marsden was on the session as well.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it was just a really strange day.
Was it? Put it this way: was it one of your heroes?
Not personally a hero, because not a singer. All my heroes are singers, really. There's a few guitarists that are my heroes, but this guy's a legend. Okay. And he's really old.
All right. So social media, in many ways, is a godsend for bands today. Is there a downside to it?
No, I think it's brilliant. I just think that people need to understand that what my only gripe about social media is that people are allowed to write whatever the hell they want to write about you. So they can tweet saying, this person's this person's this, I hate this, this band is such, whatever. But if you speak to them back, someone tells you that you're not being the bigger person, and I think, no, piss off. If someone gives me shit online, I fucking tell them. I go, who the fuck are you? Go away. Do you know what I mean? I have no gripe about putting people in their position. It's very easy for people to sit behind a keyboard. If you wouldn't say it to my face, don't say it. Right. You know? And yeah, I don't like how I have to be professional and sit there and pretend that it doesn't bother you, because it bothers you. If someone said that to you in the street, I'd fucking hit them. Any normal person, yeah. Right? So why the hell can't I tell someone to fuck off if they write something I don't like? I'm going to tell them. It's that simple. Yeah. It's real life. It's every private person's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if it wasn't for social media, would you still be searching for band members today? Some of them you found on media. Andreas, yeah, the lead guitar player. We found him via YouTube through a friend. But not the rest of them, no. I found Drew, the rhythm player, I did a show with. I was in a Queen show called Bohemian Rhapsody, and he was in the band, and he said, I know 2 guys that you're going to love to be in a band. They've played together since they were 10 years old. And I was like, damn, that's a long time. That's a tight relationship. That's a long rhythm section. Yeah. And both Phil and Colin were signed to Mick Fleetwood's record label when they were teenagers, and spent like 2 years in America making albums that never got released. But they've just played together forever, and they're amazing. So yeah, without Drew, really, I wouldn't have found those 2 guys. And Colin actually was living in Denmark at the time, and he moved back to England just to be in the band, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So no, I think I would have been all right finding them. No. But the one thing I will say is that in the UK, I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but I haven't seen any people coming from Germany or really Europe. There's not a lot of amazing young lead guitar players.
Really?
Yeah, not my age. And I'm talking amazing. I've done, do you know what I mean? There's lots of good ones,
Well,
but I like ones that can sing a bit, that can play, that can write, you know, write songs. I don't want... There's lots of good guitar players out there around the world, in my opinion, but there's not many that are incredible, and Andreas is really great.
Now, it's funny that you mention that, because I've interviewed Stephen Wilson on several occasions.
Yeah.
And I asked him something.
I had a curry with him once.
Really?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Okay. Because he claims he's not the biggest guitar player, but, you know, he gets by.
Yeah.
So anyways, I asked him, I said, would you ever take part in an air guitar competition? So that happens in Finland every year. And we kind of digressed into his reply was kind of like, well, you know, this what's this game that people play? I said, a Guitar Hero. He said, yeah. He said, well, Stephen Wilson, he nailed it. His impression of the state of the rock music business today. He said, if people put all their effort in learning how to play guitar, the music business might be in a better state than it is. Now, what a disaster and a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
You just confirmed it.
He's right. And I'm not in this business to be surrounded by like mediocrity on any level. I worked really hard for 20. I'm 29 now. Mm-hmm. I've worked really hard to be a good singer and to be consistent and to be a good performer and to write songs. Like, I really worked hard on those songs. It wasn't something that came to me very easy. So now I'm like, I want everything else around me to be that good. And finding a lead guitar player was impossible in the United Kingdom. Someone my age that's influenced by the best people was just was just not viable. I had to go all the way to Sweden to find Andreas, you know. That's a long way.
Both albums were personally, organically recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys did it in the studio on the floor. People today are unable to capture the essence, but this, of course, captures the essence of the band. Mm-hmm. How much did Kevin Shirley tweak the tracks on this new album to make it what it is?
He didn't. I don't think he did a lot. He just did what he does.
Right.
If that makes sense. So we sent him really great tracks, and he just does his thing. That's why you pay him, you know. He makes it sound like all of those incredible albums that he's mixed, and he gives it that warmth and it doesn't sound vintage. It sounds really fresh, but it's got a real like analog feel to it, and it's got really, it sounds, he's kept it sounding like you're in the room, which for someone who wasn't in the room, I think is pretty impressive. He never came to the studio, you know, we just sent him it. And also what I think is amazing about Kevin is that he mixed it in 4 days.
Oh, he's quick. I've heard
4 days.
If you're recording
12 tracks.
If you're recording with him, he's that fast too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And I found that awesome. He was messaging me going, "Have you checked the mix out yet?" And I was like, "No. Give me a second." And then I'd check the mix and he'd go, "Any notes?" And I'd be like, "No, it's perfect." I think we gave him like 2 notes for the whole album. Mm-hmm. He just got it straight away.
Yeah, he's an amazing producer. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his work.
So you guys baked the cake, you just sent it, you just put the icing on it?
Yeah. I thought, yeah. Really good icing though, you know. Really good, expensive looking icing.
Really expensive chocolate icing with truffles or something, who knows? I was listening to the album. You mentioned the song Unaware from the first album, being the first song you ever wrote, which is amazing because I was listening to it in the car. Really nice intro with the piano, and I thought that was great. And as it's going on, it's going, listening, and I thought, you know what? This has a James Bond feel to it.
Cool. That's good. I like that. We always said that. We tried to do that as well with the intro to the song on the second album as well, High Class Woman. That's also got a similar James Bondy chord thing to it. I like epic stuff. I like music that could be used for films. You know, I like cinematic stuff. I like things that make people think of other things. And I'm glad that does that. I'm glad that it.
So that was intentional.
Yeah.
So I picked up on it. So that's good.
Awesome. No, that's really good. And that was one of our only co-writes on the first album. We had 3 co-writes on the first album, and the second album we had none.
So your songwriting's it's moved up a notch.
I feel a bit more comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So listening to some of the tracks, read all about it. What is? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
That's kind of Colin came up with the riff, the bass player. That was all him, and I came up with the lyrics because as we were starting, we had quite a lot of success with our first album in the UK. We won Planet Rock's Band of the Year, and we just were being hailed as like the saviours of British rock, which is really awesome. But there was lots of people during that time, and I was like noticing people coming out of the woodwork, people that you hadn't spoken to in years, people that like were trying to get free tickets that never, you know, like, and that song is about a couple of personal experiences in the industry for me. So a couple of people that I perhaps worked with, who I felt like sticking my finger up to, you know. Okay. And also it's to anyone. It's just saying, look, we've done this ourselves, and now you have to open Classic Rock magazine and you have to read all about it, you know. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The song "Far Away," which actually appealed to me too.
I like that one.
What about that?
That came about quite quick, I think, and that was written about my granddad, who is really, really sick. Okay. He has dementia, and he's got cancer, and he's just in a really bad way. And he's loved and cared for my nan when she got divorced like 30 years ago. So he's an amazing person, and it's really sad because they've got like so much love there, right? But they are so far away, you know. And it's a really awkward. It's a really hard situation. They still live at home with me and my family, and yeah, that was kind of I had to write a song about it because it was, their relationship is really awesome, and I thought it deserved a song.
Especially when it hits home.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I didn't really do on the first album. I wrote "Bleed for You" about a friend who'd committed suicide, but it's not obviously about that, whereas "Far Away" is really personal to me. Right. And when I started writing, I was really scared about writing so personally. Because you really put it out there, you know. That's like, right. You're really showing everyone.
You wear your personality, yourself on the sleeve. And
I'm not like that. I've got quite a big front, you know.
Right.
And yeah, to be that person was really hard, but I really enjoy singing it on stage every night. And yeah, I think it's a really lovely song. I haven't told them it's about them, so hopefully they won't ever listen to this, but
likely not. I'm here in the Black Forest of Germany, so I doubt it. But
yeah.
But you mentioned you guys are hailed as like the saviors of British rock. Is that kind of something difficult to live up to?
No.
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 You guys no trouble dealing with that.
No, because I'm not saying we are. Someone else has said it. But what I'm saying is that we work really hard, and individually, we're all really good at what we do. My drummer is an amazing drummer. My bass player is incredible.
Right.
Both my guitarists rock, and they're so good. And we all write good songs together. Right now in the UK, nothing scares me. No one scares me.
So basically, you guys are just doing your jobs, and
I'm getting on with it. Yeah, and it is our jobs because we've sacrificed so much.
Right.
I left the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in America, which was not an easy financial decision to make, to start a new band in 2014 or something. So when you look at it like that and you think, actually, these guys, wow, they've been on tour non-stop, they've been not getting paid a lot of money and whatever for 2 years or so. Now it's starting to happen, and you're like, oh, we're getting booked, and oh, people are paying us to play, and it's just freaking awesome. We're not sharing hotel rooms with 4 people, you know. We're getting our own hotel rooms on days off, or it's starting to happen, and I think people should be allowed to enjoy that success. I don't think it's very British to be grounded,
right?
You know, it's a very British.
Don't take it for granted.
You have to be very humble and very grounded, and I think piss off. Like we've worked so hard.
Right.
If someone wants to say we're really good, let them say it.
Why not?
Too bad. I've worked my arse, and it's not just for the last 3 years. Individually, for everyone in this band, it's forever. It's for their whole lives. So, yeah, I think we should be allowed to enjoy it.
TSO, did you tour with them here in Europe?
Yeah.
Because I interviewed Al Petrelli in Stuttgart.
Oh, I miss him.
Really nice guy.
Really sweet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was there.
Really? Because I went
That's
backstage and I
ballet. met
met everybody. I met Jeff Plate and
Oh.
and I don't, for some reason, don't remember
I
you.
had really long hair.
Okay.
Obnoxiously long. I can't...
I guess I'll have to look at the pictures.
Yeah, you're definitely... I sung Gutter Ballet by Sabotage, and I sang All That I Bleed by Sabotage as well. When was this? 3 years ago?
3 years ago?
Yeah. I was on that tour. And then I did Varken as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's a crazy place.
Don't.
There's something I do. I do either word association or either or. And this time I chose either or. So let's see. Cooking or grilling?
Cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
No? You're not a barbecue guy?
No, not a barbecue guy. I love cooking. I love roasting.
What's your favourite meal?
My favourite meal to make is probably like a really good like lamb English roast or something. Lamb with like rosemary and garlic and red wine, you know.
Is there like a cooking time you got to really be careful of there? Because that's pretty, tender meat.
It's tender meat. I just cook it all day, so I cook it for like 6 hours.
Ah, you slow cook it.
Really low.
Cool. All right. Scuba diving or parachuting?
Neither.
Neither.
No, I don't like deep water, and I don't like
Heights.
the heights or being in the air. Something as heavy as me should not be travelling through the air on a piece of friggin' cloth, you know? No, neither.
So
Sorry.
rather on a bicycle somewhere between?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive, yeah. I can't do that.
All right. A classical orchestra or a rock concert?
Rock concert, but ideally both together. One of my favourite DVD...
Rock meets classic, maybe tour with them.
Rock meets classic's awesome. Matt's in a nice
Yeah.
guy. I'm a big fan of like Deep Purple in an orchestra, the DVD at Royal Albert Hall, and I like when bands do that. That's one of my dreams for this band.
Okay, someday.
Inglorious with an orchestra. I think it'd sound really good.
There's likelihood of that.
I hope so.
Public fame or personal anonymity?
Public fame. It's
Why
fun.
not?
That's why we all do it. If you don't
Some
want
people
it, you're in
know
the
how
wrong
to deal
job.
with it and others don't.
Yeah, well, it comes with the job, you know. You want to be in a rock band, you've got to kind of... comes with it.
Because, I mean, social media, like everybody's,
Yeah, people want to know your business, right?
everybody knows everything about you. Burnout or fade away, as Neil Young said.
Burnout.
Burnout?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing like fading away, huh?
No.
But then again, that's rock. That's rock and roll. When people say, "Oh, I'm going to retire," what? No, they don't. They always
keep
come
going.
back.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think Ozzy Osbourne announced his retirement 20 years ago, right?
Really?
Yeah. I think that was it. The first ever farewell tour was like 20 odd years ago.
Wonderful. Nathan, thanks a lot for taking
Thank
time
you.
out. It's interesting chat.
Yeah. Good, I'm glad. Hi, this is Nathan James from Inglorious, and you're listening to Backbeat with AndreGraziadei on Freie S Radio Freudenstadt.